Howdy ho, everyone. This is your GM Patrick here, welcoming you back to another week of Cosmic Crit. I feel great. I feel like this is the heyday for Cosmic Crit. We just passed our 3-year anniversary of weekly Starfinder adventures and are nearly at episode 150. That is next week. We have now our second podcast on Patreon, Dead Men Roll No Crits, and episode 8 is out right now for you to listen to. We're joined this week by friend of the podcast and pirate extraordinaire Jason Keeley himself, as he plays a very vivacious and expressive NPC in nearly a 2-hour extravaganza over there. There's already 12 hours of our pirate playthrough of Skull and Shackles. If you want to join up right now for the $5 or more tier and binge listen to them, they are available for you. And it's because of the support of our Patreon subscribers that these are now weekly episodes. And beyond that, we have plans to grow the podcast Patreon even more in the future. So I just want to thank you guys for listening. Cosmic Crit is going strong. We've had a lot of calls on us to name what our 4th season is going to be, even though at this point, we're not even halfway through the amazing Attack of the Swarm adventure path for Season 3. Right now, Season 4 is still up in the air, but I can tell you that I just got my copy of Devastation Arc's Waking the World Seed by Jenny Jarzabski, and it is amazing. If you have played through any of the adventure paths so far, you're going to want to pick up Devastation Arc and play it for sure. It looks like something that I can see us wanting to do on the podcast eventually. And with that cryptic message, let's not tarry any further into intro land. But let's get back to the adventure on Cosmic Crit, episode 149, which we are calling Red Hot Illemchuuva Summer.
Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
It's time to praise the sun while constantly rolling away from enemy attacks on this week's darkened episode of Cosmic Souls. This is your GM here, Patrick, your gray massive wolf stalking ever closer to you. And on this week's episode, I get so frustrated, I throw my controller through the wall. Joining me in writing not at all helpful messages on the ground and invading my game are my 5 friends and your players. To my right, perched atop this bell tower, why that's no gargoyle, it's Rebecca rolling with Zenny.
Hello.
Across from her, he's going on an all pyromancy run, creating fire bombs on the fly. It's Drew delivering Echo 7.
My story is based in obscure item descriptions.
To my right, this Asylum demon's fat butt can barely fit through most medium-sized doors as well. It's Tyler dredging up Devasho.
I'm pro fat roll. That's how I played the whole game.
Across from him, this magician cheats by rubbing gold pine resin all over his sword. That's not allowed. It's Jabert playing his dress.
I wish I knew something about Dark Souls, but instead of buying it like years ago, I bought like something in Pain, like a weird like you run through and fight terrorist shooter. I think you and I were together, Patrick. It was not the best choice.
Across the digital table, we still have an introduction to do. This little mushroom child is no pushover. He's just a fun guy. Why, it's Miles mixing up with Sprouts.
Get good, Patrick. Get good.
Bert, one of the things that you do in Dark Souls is rub pine resin, gold pine resin, all over your weapons and magically enchant them. It's like a consumable item in the Dark Souls.
I love that first game so much.
It's a pretty good. Welcome back to the show, everybody. What's happening?
Not much.
Time has no meaning, Patrick. Time has no meaning.
I actually hung out a little bit with one of my neighbors, and it was an interesting conversation because he was like a radio DJ. He's an old radio voice guy. And so my wife was very quick to be like, well, Tyler does a podcast. And I was like, well, this is embarrassing now. But it was cool because he talked a lot about how when he first got into radio and how he was like splicing actual physical film when he was trying to make his cuts and like edits. And you know, he did, and he still does some like VA work. So I don't know. I had a fun conversation with a neighbor.
He spliced video for radio?
No, he spliced
It's one of those picture radios, you know.
film. He
You mean-
spliced audio.
You mean tape?
Tape. Yes. Sorry, not film. Tape. Yes.
It's so weird that there's only a few years difference between us, but you're like a whole another generation that never saw a VHS tape before.
I mean, I saw a VHS tape.
You've never held one in your hand.
He heard tales.
Oh,
yeah.
goodness
We
gracious.
we spoke of them in whispers and legends.
Folks, we were talking about this before we started recording. While we're playing every single week to get these episodes out to you because of quarantine and because of like all the different things that everyone has to do now in the world. 1 week seems like a month, I would say minimum. So it feels like I've never not seen you guys in the longest time. And it might be like that for our listeners listening to the podcast. Like, oh man, I just listened to episode, 147 last week. This is 148, right?
Actually, I think this is
148.
This is
149.
This is 149.
Yeah, that's why it seemed so long. So I'm happy that we've integrated into our show a little recap, because as you guys were talking about before, it's like, what happened last time? Where are we even? So let's talk about it, and let's talk to Miles to give us a recap of what happened last time on Cosmic Grid.
We settled up with the Imago reactor, left that bug in flames as sweet Kainetiacs drove us into the distance. Tress and Devasho got banged up pretty bad, but like always, Lady Luck seemed to be on our side. We made it to the destroyed city of Oods and met back with Heskamu and the Clade Company. While we made a path to Zessh University, it seems we got a hitchhiker in the form of Zinnia's old classmate, Jadvada. Just what we need. Civilians gumming up the works. Just remember, Bug Boy, this is a military operation, and books won't save you now. School's out. Permanently.
Sorry, does Sprouts have some kind of bias against science-focused civilians?
I don't know, you wrote this one, so you tell me.
That
I think he doesn't like school.
I wrote it in your character's voice. Well,
I don't think Sprouts has a problem with scientists. I think he has a problem with civilians in a situation where they are going to be more of a hindrance than anything else.
Well, if I remember, we do like one of the first things we had to do was make an athletics check to just go over like a gap of acid, and the guy was like one number away from just dunking in the acid, and he was just dead immediately.
I think it was just a ravine, but I imagine there might be acid at the bottom of it. Who knows? You guys didn't fail the checks, so
You failed it so bad there was acid where there was no acid before.
you summoned acid with your crappy dice rolls.
One day Javata's going to miss a roll and reach his hand up for help, and I'll whisper, no.
Oh boy. No. So you all have fought your way inside of Zessh University and find yourselves in an area that you remember well, Zinnium, the atrium. And this would have been like a huge kind of pavilion entrance to these buildings here, where there was like perhaps a cafe and all kinds of seating, sofas, and high top tables and things like that.
Table, maybe.
That was definitely not here. I'm saying no to that.
Air hockey, at least.
But there was High Alive for some reason. I don't know why. There's like a whole room for it, but no ping pong. That's like adult ping pong, where you whip balls at each other's heads.
Yeah, it's like murder ping pong. Yeah.
But all the furniture from this space, the tables, chairs, what have you, are maybe even some vending machines overturned, and that's what are making these barricades here that the Korvoxes last week that you fought were kind of using. But they seem to be man-made from the looks of it. This doesn't look like something that a swarm would put together. And then there's some steps leading up to a what used to be perhaps the cafe here, and it has some glass walls that you can see inside it. It looks pretty barren as well. The only other thing here besides this hallway leading to the east is this large statue of the founder of the university. And there's actually art in the book for it. This is a statue of Zessh. Is a female Sheeran.
It's pretty cool looking.
I'm glad that they took the time to model her clipboard.
Honestly, the clipboard makes it for me. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, the jacket's pretty sweet too.
I was thinking the bell bottoms were cute.
Bell bottoms, yeah. Everything about this is A+.
Yeah,
This is good art by, guys. Good art by.
Pretty cool statue of a female Sheeran, and the plaque at the bottom of it has their name written in Sheeran and proclaims her as a pioneer of multi-species educational techniques. And certainly that's one of the things that Zessh University was known for out here in the Chuva system on Illemchuuva. So we are out of combat as you took on those swarm components here. Jadvada has joined you guys. What would you like to do?
Check the vending machines for some Charleston Chew.
I'm gonna check my SP and make sure I don't need to take a 10-minute rest. I'm gonna risk it.
Okay. Make me a perception check, Miles. And if Sprout rolls a 20, guess what? You got your chew, my friend.
Oh boy.
Got your chew.
Oh,
I got 24.
You found half a Chuck E. Chew.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They just have a payday in there for you.
Sprout shoots the machine.
Let's see if our friend here has any ideas. He was sort of the last person to be here, and he seems to know the area a little bit better than everybody else. So,
Jadvada, you're talking about?
Jadvada, yes.
What do you want to ask him?
Which way to the professor's offices?
Oh, well, yes, I believe it's due east, if I recall. Yes, and I'm pretty sure off to the right, south, maybe. It's been a while, and everything looks quite different here.
Sense motive.
he just
Leading you into a trap.
He does seem a little disoriented. Zinnia, make me a perception check as well.
All right.
Oh,
14.
I saw it too.
Oh yeah, it was almost a 20, but a 2 on the dice. Believe it or not, that is enough to spot against the wall here, kind of by the entrance, what you remember, which is a directory, kind of on the side there, a analog directory, and it's got like a list of food court, lecture halls, offices, student services, and as you go down the list of offices, it does have a room directory for Professor Galchak. This room 1026.
Thank Hylax, they had an analog directory. What are the chances?
Not everything's digital in the universe.
I am more impressed that he had a room on the first floor. Normally, they stick professors up on 5 and 6.
So was that is that sort of down to the down of our screen?
Yeah, that's towards the east, and
because this is sort of north is to the right for us, right?
Is a little different on this map, yeah. So
okay.
Sorry, there's
no
very
worries.
Confusing.
There's no time to reorient the map for you all. I'm doing it as
talk
it's
to Liz about that. We're gonna talk to Liz about that one. If you don't make north up.
I just do it to disorient everyone. Heading that way. One thing that Sprouts you see as you are looking through the vending machine, though, is underneath it, perhaps crushed, is what looks like part of a suit of armor. There is nobody inside of it. It seems like the destroyed pieces of what looks like a heavy armor, maybe down in this area here, in the barricade over. Let's say the barricade of the steps going up to where the
Can I slide up on in that armor? No, I'm kidding.
Wait. Before we leave the directory, can I take note of where the bell tower is?
From here, you'd have to leave the building and head out. It might be attached to this structure, but the entrance, it doesn't seem it's listed here.
Okay.
Sorry, Miles.
Can I roll culture to see where this armor might have come from, or would I know? Is this particular to the school, or is this from a prior group that went in?
I think. Do you speak Sheeran?
I do.
I think just looking it over, you see the same symbols on the building as you entered as on the armor, and can kind of piece together that this was a security guard, perhaps for the school.
Okay. And there's probably nothing I can glean from the armor as far as like something that would be useful to anyone in the party.
Maybe make a life science or a medicine check if you've got it.
Okay.
And you said it was destroyed, right?
This one is intact, but it's like underneath the rubble, as it were.
It's a 15.
There are signs of a struggle. You're not sure exactly what happened, but I mean, more than likely this was from the swarm invasion of the planet, because there are perhaps some claw marks or some cuts and things.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to point this out to others, or if you want to try and pull this out yourself, you can.
That would be hilarious. That would be like a Looney Tune cartoon of Sprouts trying to pull out this full suit of armor by himself, like Tweety Bird. So he'd probably call over Devasho and Echo 7.
So if you guys...
Devasho wanders over and he goes, "Typical. I just bought a new set of armor, and now we find one. I can never figure out when I'm supposed to buy new equipment. So confusing."
Murphy's Law gets you every time, buddy.
Absolutely. Echo, would you care to have this set?
I mean, it's broken, right?
It is
I'm
not
sorry,
broken.
why am I talking to... I didn't mean to talk to Echo. I'm sorry, Trest. Trest, come over here.
Let's see. What kind of armor is that?
Taking a look at it, you realize it is Sheeran cut. So it would fit you without modifications, but it is a suit of Enforcer armor. And once you dig it out, you realize it has a integrated weapon on it. A shout projector, damper shout projector, which is kind of like a riot control sonic weapon, heavy sonic weapon.
Interesting. And this would be Enforcer type
Mark 1, yeah.
Mark 1, yeah.
Enforcer Mark 1, level 5 armor, +9, +10.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, only a +2 on the dex bonus. Ooh, minus 10 feet movement.
So while you're looking at this armor and maybe clean it off a little bit, you realize looking around the rubble here, there are, let's see, I mean, it looks to be a fairly gruesome scene, as you do see perhaps blood sprayed or splattered on the ground. In some places, it looks like perhaps buckets of it have dried up, and kind of integrated, like pushed up against these barricades are pieces of several torn apart kind of suits of armor. No bodies to be found, but the armor seems to be of maybe 3 or 4 different pieces, and there's also perhaps some weapons as well that are kind of like strewn about. You think if you take some time to kind of like sort out all the junk of these rubble strewn piles, you might be able to put them back together.
Yes.
Vasha would be down for that.
All right, so nobody wants the spells that I cast last week. That's cool. That's fine.
I was about to say, if you want to continue on, you can. Javada says, that he'd be fine staying behind it and trying to do some of this if you want to move on.
If Javada wants to, as long as we recover the equipment, Devasha doesn't care either way. So if we want to keep going so that we can make use of these spells and let Javada do some of the grunt work.
Javada literally got confused at a place that he spent multiple years in. I know it looks different because I got attacked. I can't guarantee that he's going to be able to catch up to us with this stuff.
He's got a commune.
Yeah, you guys can come back here. It will probably take some time. So if you're worried about your spells, then I would say move on. Now, I will say this suit of armor, the first one that you found, the Enforcer armor, is whole, so you can just suit up if you want to use that.
I see.
The others, whatever other armor there is here, you'll have to spend some time kind of cobbling together.
Yeah, unfortunately, I also spent money on armor, so womp womp. So I guess I'm good for now.
Okay. So moving on to the hallway to the east, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Walking down these hallways, we see an old favorite of Devasho's, some large acid-soaked pools here, where rain from outside has kind of like leaked through the building and formed these large basins in the cracked, uneven stone floor. Looking further down the hall here, there's a couple of sets of double doors on the... three sets of double doors on the southern walls, and another one appearing at the end of the hallway towards the east, where it looks like the hallway continues on. And there's a southern hallway if you want to... Do you want to peek down there, Devasho, or Tress looks like he's in the front?
Yeah, let's go take a quick look, a little gander.
Sure.
See if I can see a room number that I recognize.
So I will say these acid pools do have about 5 feet berth on either side. So, Tyler, you can squeeze by these pools without taking damage. Heading to the north, it looks like it continues on through a smaller hallway to some more double doors to the north, and then to the south there is a set of stairs that lead down and what looks like an elevator at the end of the hallway here. Alrighty, and that is what you see as you walk on down the hallway. What would you like to do?
Devasho speaks up and
Considering we do not know what is in the university, I think we should clear out each room. There might be things that could be of use to us or the resistance here that we could recover.
Yeah, we'd agreed to do something on the behalf of the
Clade Company.
The Clade Company.
Just kind of keep your eyes and ears open for equipment. So
equipment and technology, right?
Yeah. Like those suits of armor. Like if you don't want to spend the time to put each of them back together, they will send someone out here.
That'd be useful for them. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, any armor would be great.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a reasonable idea to me. You want to start with these double doors here?
Yes.
Well, there's 2 sets of them on the southern side of the hallway here. So Devasho's at one set. It looks like you have Xenia and Trest at another. Do you guys want to?
I suppose I just sort of assumed that was an auditorium of some sort.
Well,
like a lecture hall.
Do we risk it?
As
double
you're
open?
Yeah, no, I mean,
I can stealthily open it.
I think Xenia, it might be like, oh yeah, I think I can remember. This is indeed a lecture hall and has markings on the outside of it.
Oh, to that
listing
effect.
it as
okay, cool.
It says lecture hall
Xenia.
101 on both
Xenia's
sides.
Clearly, she knows this university so well that she can read the giant sign above the doorway.
It's written in common in case.
right. Yeah, if they're both for lecture hall 101, then I say we kick in the doors at the same time.
The only lesson will be pain.
Can we stealthily open the door and see what's in there first?
Like you're trying to
Before we
sneak into class late, the professor's going to see you.
It sounds like you're kicking doors. I heard more votes for kicking than sneaking.
No, Devasho can.
I'm happy to wait. I'm happy to wait.
Sprouts would definitely I'll be all in favor of the sneaky sneaks.
Yes. Do you want to go sneak over there, or do you want to back me and Devasho up over on the what is this? The western door? Is that the direction?
Yep. There's it looks like Xenia. Well, everyone knows if you look at the corresponding compass on the map, Tyler.
How zoomed out are you?
It is
Xenia and Trest are on the eastern side, and everyone else is on the western.
All right, Xenia's gonna crack open the door.
Okay. As you do so, can both... Oh, well, you've rolled a very good stealth check with a natural 20 without me asking for it, because as soon as that door cracks, I need you guys both to make a roll for me, a reflex save.
Oh no!
Mob beans.
Oh,
You're
crap. Oh, another natural 20.
What the wrong? What the heck? We're back up.
This is just for Trest and Xenia.
Oh.
Hey,
Couple
18
good
on the
ones.
dice.
evasion is helpful here because you are taking half damage as soon as that door is cracked. There is a massive sonic blast, an ear-splitting shriek that reverberates through your armor, and maybe saved by your environmental protections, your ears aren't bleeding and you guys aren't deafened right now. This is... Oh my, wait, no. Oh no, this is both reflex and fortitude save. Oh, you still need to make a fortitude save even if you don't take damage? Is that right? Am I reading these rules correctly? What? Yes. Make a fortitude save for me as well, you two. Boy, howdy.
Oh boy.
Starting off hard here. Oh no.
Womp womp.
A fail on Tress' part. And what do you get, Rebecca?
19 on the fort save.
Okay, and a success there. This ear-splitting shriek brought to you by the swarms hiding in this room. Just I'll reveal to that as the door is just still partway open, but you guys are taking some damage here. They seem this swarm creature is like in the desks, kind of hidden behind them.
He's trying to get an education. You can't fault him.
He's trying to better himself.
Trying to become a Korobox. Trying to instead of a dredger.
Alrighty, I've rolled pretty high on the damage. It is 9 points of damage on the half Trest. Rolled 18 in total. And you are deafened as well, my friend, for a while, for 1d4 minutes. Let's bring it out. Oh, of course, it's 4 minutes. Let's go ahead.
But
go ahead and... Mm-hmm.
Does deafened affect Ashirin?
Yep.
Because they have blind sense stuff?
They have ears.
Yep. It's,
Yeah, I can definitely be deafened. I can't remember if deafened has any effect on spellcasting or not, but
hearing's important. All right, so I don't believe it does. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. These guys seems to have been waiting for you.
Ooh, nice.
And I will show you what they look like, as these are swarm you've not encountered yet before. They kind of look like a lot of the bipedal swarm that you fought, but they have these wicked barbed claw, like, I guess, fingers, almost like these ragged hooks. And then underneath their gullet seems to be like this ever-expanding bag, and it seems like that was what was expelled while this one was shouting in your direction, Zinnia.
Just for the sake of the fans, when you are deafened, you take a -4 penalty to initiative checks and opposed perception checks. Of course, you automatically fail sound-based perception.
Go ahead and roll that initiative, Miles. Just join us in this game tonight.
Okie dokie.
This swarm has a face that says, "Do you have the notes for Professor Jambata's class?"
Plus I get the bonus that Jabert gave me, I guess.
right. So you and Zenny are both getting a +2 to your initiatives, and you'd use the higher of your two rolls.
Yeah,
so since Zenny rolled a 10, you just say 10 plus your initiative modifier.
He
Plus
rolled
2.
a 16. So
Yeah, so it'd be a
No.
16.
No, you rolled twice here.
Right. I rolled a 6.
So we are...
Or 3.
Right.
So we're
So
looking
it's,
at a
19.07 for Zinnia.
19 and an 18. Does that sound right? Yes. Mhm. Now, Tress, does yours include being deafened?
Yeah, I rolled a 16 as normal, but I'm taking a -4 to that. From the deafening, so I'm at a 12.
Alrighty. We've rolled initiative. It only took a couple minutes here, but what has transpired is Echo 7 at the top. Drew, what did you roll?
I rolled a 28. 19 on the dice.
19. Okay, you're first. What would you like to do? You just heard a massive shriek from this eastern door. You're up here on the western one.
Yeah, we're gonna bust in here and we're gonna try to lay down some fire. Let's do this, and we're going to make some smart decisions. We're gonna bust in the door.
All right, so it's going to move forward and another action to open it on up. So you're busting it open for whoever comes behind you, which is Spreads Marlowe.
Portals.
Sounds like.
Well, I'm on top of him.
Yeah, good point. So you can indeed move just on the other side, and I'll reveal this entire room now that you get a good look at it. It's weird. There are, in the middle of this lecture hall, a number of desks, and then 2 sloped sides going down towards the desk and the electronic boards at the front. Heaped on the western side of the staircase are what looks like the rotting and fetid corpses of swarm components. You see there's a few Korvoks, mostly dredgers, some effigies here. They look like they have been dead for some time. And then on the eastern side are these just black cubes lining the entirety of that wall. All this is going to be difficult terrain. Basically, it's actually going to take athletics to move over desks or bodies or black cubes.
Yes, one desk proved to be fatal for Cosmic Crit season ago, so 72 desks.
The ultimate. This is the ultimate boss fight. I'm not gonna lie. These desks are actually hard to get over, so this is gonna be interesting.
I mean, I've been to school. I get it.
Oh, okay. Echo 7, that's your turn. Zinnia, we're on to you. What would you like to do?
All right. So Zinnia, am I still dual wielding my pistols right now? Just wondering. I never put them away, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say that I still have my pistols out. We just kind of shouldered the door in. And the first thing I want to do is try to identify these creatures. And now that I have a level in biohacker, I get a 20 on this check if I use it as a move action. So I'm going to do that.
Okay, that's not a terrible use of it. What is your bonus if you roll a 20?
15, so 35.
So with that, you get to know 4 pieces of information about a swarm revulsor. Swarm revulsor, definitely something that was spotted on Suskelin. You guys didn't get to fight one of these CR4 creatures. What would you like to know?
I'd like to know what their resistances are.
So no special resistances, immune to acid and fear effects, of course. I will say, not a resistance, but if you're asking for different defensive abilities, this has a regenerative ability, the revulsors that you know about, and they are weak to, well, they're not weak to fire, but fire shuts down their regeneration.
Oh, so they're trolls.
That's useful.
Similar to trolls, yeah. I guess these would be the swarm trolls that shout that make you deaf.
Any special attacks other than their apparent sonic scream
that is indeed their ear-splitting shriek, and that is, now that you've gotten a taste of it firsthand, you know that it can be wielded against items. It can also, it also takes the form of a 30-foot cone. Fun. And you got a couple more things. Taking 50 on, or taking 20 on these, you get to know
pretty nice.
A good deal.
Can I make a request?
Please.
Can you tell me their saves? Like, are we allowed to know their Fort Ref will?
Yeah, that's another defensive question. I will say one for each of these, perhaps. So do you want one in particular?
Fort.
That is, well, not their weakest, but not great. Not their best, for sure. It is +6.
Okay.
Okay, so it's in the middle, you say.
Not their best, not their worst.
Anything else? I can just ask for ACDC. ACDC.
ECKC. Yeah, if you want to know that, you can. It's a little askew right now as they are behind the cover of these desks, but EAC of 16, KAC of 18.
All right. So I, being in the doorway, do I have line of sight or are they concealed?
I think both of you will have a good deal of cover from one another. So if you want to stay here in the doorway and just kind of peek through, you can. But their area of effect weapon didn't seem to care about that door one bit.
Yeah. Kind of thinking that I wonder what those cubes are. Is that something I can try to identify what they are? I was thinking I could fly over them, but I'm afraid that they're
You can.
bombs or something.
There's maybe like 10 foot of room above. So you wouldn't be able to like fly over these guys maybe without them getting an attack. But if you want to move closer to these black cubes and study them for the turn, you can. I'll let you make a roll on them as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of hover right above them and try to get a good look at them.
Yeah, it might be nice to just make sure they're not like bombs or something.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's like I could fly over them, but I don't want them to be bombs. So I want to make sure that I know what they are before I do that. So
make me a life science check.
Life science.
Oh
34.
Yeah. Okay. You don't need this natural 20 as a move action ability. 19 on the dice. So getting a closer look, if you're flying over them, and you have heard of this process before, but you have never seen it up close. This room seems to be a swarm, like crematorium, where the dead components are being masticated, regurgitated, and turned into these building blocks, these black cubes for reprocessing into kind of like the flesh pits that they use to create creatures and feed the young. Yeah, so that is what these are. They are fairly inert and unfortunately useless for your purposes, unless you are some kind of mad scientist that wants to take samples of everything. And
you know what? At least they're not bombs. That's all I really wanted to know. So.
They are not. Yeah. Well, it's good because there's a lot of them. If you don't see this art, there's about 40. Okay, that is going to be your turn, bringing us to Sprouts, already in the room and already targeted, perhaps, by one of these revulsors.
So Sprouts is going to take aim at the nearest revulsor.
Yep, there's one on the western side here where you're at.
And it's going to take a shot. CR 17 or lower, so the trick hits, but the attack does not with 11.
Yeah, natural toot. Won't doot. You blast this desk to this thing's side with plasma damage, and it lights up for a second, and it definitely has a target. But not yet, because I rolled very low on initiative. Trest is next. Deafened, but not out of this fight.
Not out yet. Indeed, I'm going to move forward to here. Is it a standard action to try to like step on the desks?
So moving over these desks is indeed going to be fairly difficult. It is going to be, my goodness, to clamber over the lecture hold's seating. It will be an acrobatics check, actually, not to get kind of your feet gummed up in it.
Sure. So is it part of the same action as the move? Or?
It is, and it's difficult terrain.
Okay, so I could move sort of into that, and it's acrobatics.
It is acrobatics to kind of walk on the desktops, I guess.
Oh, Liz, my arch nemesis,
and not fall in. And there are penalties for falling in.
All right. Well, I was never meant to go to school. I'm gonna spend a resolve point, and I'm gonna bring in some allies.
Oh, standard action summons.
Oh yeah. Pew pew pew. Summoning in some little lantern archons. Pew pew pew.
Ooh, like this place up behind them.
Yeah.
Oh, that
coming in sort of back here.
changes my next time.
Right. So they appear in the desks behind these swarm creatures,
ready to learn.
Yeah, they're like, where's the teacher? Oh no, it's a fight. It's another fight. We've been summoned for.
No teachers. Yeah, and they're gonna start unloading on. Let's see, which one just got hit by Sprouts? The one to the north. The one to the west?
Technically didn't get hit, but he was shot at. Yeah, the one to the west.
Okay.
No one's taken damage yet, except for you guys.
All right. I'm just going to blast at the one here to the east. It's going to be 3 shots.
Oh, yeah. Are these flying creatures?
They are. Okay. Well, that's a 2.
Natural toot.
Kaboom.
Yeah, 30 feet of fly speed.
I was about to say, if you want to move them to where it kind of negates their cover, it might be beneficial for these little guys.
Sorry, negates their cover. They're behind cover right now.
They're like behind the desks. they seem to be hiding out, waiting for you.
Oh, so they could just be like over here or something?
Yeah, you can put them to the side or kind of like put them up a little bit above them.
Okay, yeah, that's they'll sort of be, I don't know, up. So, yeah, getting some flanks on these fools.
So what is the second attack?
So this is a 19 versus EAC.
That will be a hit.
It's two damage. 2 fire damage.
Yes, that is a hit. 2 fire. Oh my. Oh no. Their only weakness.
And 14 versus EAC.
That is a miss.
Okay. 2 damage.
All right, I'm technically marking it down. Hope this doesn't come back to bite me. Oh, and that is your standard, which means your turn's over. We're going to Devasho.
Patrick, can I see these nasty fellas, nasty individuals from where Devasho is sitting currently outside the door?
You can see their heads pop in up out of a sea of desks.
That's all I need. Make me a fortitude save. I'm going to try to hold you.
I'm going to go into photon attunement. I'm going to try to grab you from a distance.
A 30-foot ability.
I believe it is just a 30-foot ability.
Oh, we know you're within range. I failed it.
Oh, nice. So when I'm I get to move you as if it were psychokinetic hand.
What's this ability?
This is called gravity hold. So if you fail your fortitude save, I can just read this real quick.
Yeah.
While under this effect, the target creature cannot move, but can take any other normal actions. This follows as if the spell psychokinetic hand, except for the restrictions on weight limit are lifted. So I can lift a creature 5 feet off the ground, and I can spend a standard action to concentrate to maintain the gravity hold. But I can also move them.
Mm-hmm.
I can move them 15 feet. However, they are quite obviously there are desks in the way and stuff. So it is up to you to determine how much I can move them and how efficient it is. I don't know if I can just move him straight down an aisle, like towards one of the archons, or straight towards Devasho, to try and get him. I want to try to get them out of this like desk area if I can.
I mean, this is a force hold, basically. Let's not mince words here. You're yoking this guy up. So I would say you'd be able to kind of lift them out of this one out of the desks and get them closer to an ally.
Cool. I'll drag him 15 feet towards Trest, I guess.
Now, this will be, if you're using it as per Psychokinetic Hand, this will take your move action. Is that what I'm reading here?
This will take my...
Psychokinetic Hand says as a move action,
no,
you
this
can
will take
propel
my yes,
the option.
Yes, this will take my move action, correct.
Yep. So moving them out of the desks and potentially out of cover towards Trest.
Yes.
Oh, no, I don't like that one bit.
And are these creature, yeah, and then I'm going to I could spend my standard action to try to maintain the hold, but I think
that's on subsequent turns.
Oh, okay, cool. Then I'm going to spend my current standard action as a move action to get with it, to essentially be flanking this creature.
Gravity hold is it is the standard action, yeah.
Oh, right. So the standard action, yes, you're right.
Is
so
to
I'm still where I am
to affect this, yes.
Yes. So that is my entire turn, is to move this creature out of the cover.
Okay, Dokley. Well, that's not terrible, because that's one of the things that they're banking on here was they got a psychic warning from these Korvoks that you fought. And they seemingly were ready for you. It is their turn, and maybe you've done Trest a solid, but now this thing is on top of him and is a little confused while it's like floating in the air, but has a target in its hated Sheeran. So note your splitting shriek for this one in front of you, Tress, but it's going to try
thank goodness.
Double attack you.
I probably should have moved him. I probably should have moved it 5 feet away from you. I apologize for my lack of intelligence on that move.
Ooh. Oh boy. Super hit and a natural 2. 19 and a 2, a hit and a miss.
Fire and ice.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's why I rolled two attacks when I can. So you get the full brunt of its attack. Oh, minimum damage. 8 points of slashing from this wicked claw. And the other one, I think, is going to... They seem to have a climb ability, so it's just going to climb on top of these desks. Kind of here towards the back, and we're just going to do an ear-splitting shriek at a few allies. I think this might actually get everyone but Devasha moving back a little bit. Well, I say everyone. It will get Sprouts, Echo 7, and one of these little lantern archons. So if you guys can give me a reflex save first, I will roll the damage. Your ear stop bleeding.
Poor lantern archons.
A little less damage
25?
this time. So that'll save, and with evasion you take nothing, but it's 16 points in total. And Echo 7, you've rolled an 18. That's going to be half, so 8. And little lantern archon, no matter what, is getting blasted out of existence.
Yep.
And that is their turn. Bringing us back.
Fort safe?
Oh yeah. For those who lived, Echo 7 and Sprouts, give me that fort, because you could be deafened too. But guess what? Once you're deafened once, there's no more deafening. All right. All right.
So
Echo
19.
7. Something's going haywire in your auditory inputs. Deafened. What did you just say?
Pronk.
Okay, good.
I used that word in real life as we discussed on Discord this week.
2 minutes, and Sprouts is fine. All right, that is their turn officially. Calling it. Echo 7, we're back to you, top of the turn. You get to do a little bit more this turn.
Yeah, so I actually have a little bit more room to work this time around. Let me make sure that my math is right here, because...
You guys should have kicked the doors in. Would have had a lot less door stuff to deal with.
So I want to apologize, Jabert, for what I'm about to do. So,
No, my lantern archon, no.
So Echo 7 picked up a new ability called Quick Draw. So I can draw and throw a grenade in a single turn, which is awesome. And I want to throw a Riot Grenade 2 right here, which should hit this guy, this one,
Both of the swarms.
both the swarm, but also this Archon.
Oh no.
Oh,
Sweet Archon number 2. We hardly knew ye. What do the riot grenades do?
So what riot grenades do is, if assuming they explode, they don't appear to do damage, but they stagger enemies.
Nice.
Oh, so they have a save associated with them. Is that right?
Yes.
Excellent.
So hopefully the reflex save is not the super high save, but we'll see soon enough.
Go ahead and make me that attack roll.
Oh goodness, you man! It's like you tried to fail. It's like you tried to fail.
It's a toot, toot,
Which
kaboom.
square were you throwing it at?
It was, I think, this one, because this one would give me 15 feet, which is the range to both of these, but not to myself
Oh, no.
and Echo.
Oh no. Guess what time it is? It's time for random grenade rolling through the desks time. It like bounces off one of the desks that is maybe partially askew and is now doing a Rube Goldberg kind of contraption through the room.
I was thinking Plinko. Like
Yes! Let's
Yeah.
Go further. Go further. Don't go short. Go long. Go long.
So let's mark it on the map here and get it going. Roll me a D8, Drew. Oh no, this is coming back your way.
And I hate everything about you. Everything about you.
It's been so long since we did this. This was at the Sister Spark fight when we had a couple of fun grenades go haywire. Ooh, boy. I forget, is it D6 distance? Let's see.
This is why
Missing with it.
use grenades.
I mean, I've never seen someone make a grenade-based character.
After you've determined the misdirection, roll D4, and this is how many squares away it lands. So it's not D6, it's D4. Do you want to roll that, Drew?
Yeah, I'll roll it.
Oh, Drew, be a homie, roll low.
Oh, no.
3.
So good news is it will still affect one of these swarm revulsors. The bad news is it bounces off these desks and nearly lands at your feet.
Yay, my Lantern Archon is fine.
Yeah, you're right, but Echo 7, Sprouts, and Devasho are caught up in the blast. So, Fortitude time? Fortitude saves? Is that what's happening?
I believe so. Yep.
Fort or Reflex?
It might be Reflex.
Reflex, I think.
Okay. I still think I'm okay. What's the DC?
If I did my math right, it should only be 17.
Ooh, I
So
barely made it.
Reflex save?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Sprouts.
I fail.
And what is the DC? You just said it.
17.
Oh, 17.
17. I've made it. Sprouts has failed, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sweet little Raxolite.
Oh, that means you can't. That means Sprouts can't trick attack.
Awesome. Drew, you're the best player on Patrick's team.
Okay.
Team sport. And Drew's on the other side.
You still have a move action if you'd like, Drew.
Yeah, we're just going to move back into the corner.
Okay.
Take Sprouts with us.
And
corner.
Next in the turn order is Zessh.
I was going to ask if he could kick it as his move action, but oh well.
Kicked her as he walks back.
All right,
The
so
sad Charlie Brown music is playing in Echo 7's audio sensors right now.
It's this cheer up Charlie music from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Oh yeah. Can't hear it. Can't hear the sad music anyway. All right, Rebecca.
All right, Zenny is going to fly up a ways. How high is the ceiling in here? Probably pretty high, right?
No, it's like I said, just about 10 feet above the sides here. So I think it's
a very low ceiling for a lecture hall, gotta say.
The ceiling slopes with the room. They don't want a vast echo.
Okay.
They don't want any echoes in this room, Drew.
All right, well, she will fly up to the ceiling then, and is going to use her needler pistol to take a shot at the swarm that is attacking Trust right now, and is going to put a basic inhibitor on it.
Alrighty.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Very nice. Please inhibit.
I'm going to try, and this is with my trick attack. Oh, trick does not go off. All right, so I got a 22 on the attack, which I believe hits, and that does 7 damage on top of the inhibitor, which is -2 to its AC.
Ooh, okay. So
Nice.
Inhibitor goes off. No trick, but -2 its AC. And then that is going to bring us next to Sprouts Marlowe, staggered for this turn, so you can take only a move for a standard. Good,
I'll take a standard and shoot at the one that's near Trest.
Okay, so you guys so far kind of focusing fire up on this one who's now out of cover.
That's an 18 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, for 6 points of damage.
Against EAC. No trick on this.
It was CR1 or lower anyway, so the trick would have failed.
There is fire damage in this hit, so it is shutting off this one's regeneration with a turn.
Well done.
Trest, this one is out of cover, seemingly just kind of floating in front of you. You weren't sure these guys had wings or could fly, but seemingly it has been brought over by your good friend Devasho.
Look out, they're made of magic. My Lantern Archons are going to sort of...
Oh my goodness, I forgot about them.
Form up into a slightly reduced squadron, and I'm going to fire their rays over at yonder reduced AC fella.
Yeah, the one right in front of you, this revulsor that is trying its best to make you into sushi.
Yeah, only a 12 versus that EAC.
So one miss. Try the second. Oh no.
Oh no.
Natural one.
4. Natural 1.
Natural 1, 4 total misses.
Okie dokie. Well, time for my turn.
Papa Sharon's a little better with an attack roll, I've heard.
Yeah. All right, let's see here.
What would you like to do?
It's pretty early in the university for me to start burning spells on on a sword. So I think I'm just gonna. Oh, come on, Jabert.
Come on, Jabert, indeed. What are you doing?
I'm doing 2 attacks.
Oh goodness, I love it so much.
All right, so -4 to the attack. Oh, good gracious!
Oh,
goodness gracious!
Oh, this is Tronking Tronk.
Look at that! It was a
bad.
1 on the attack, and then 2 1s on the damage. It's just the absolute worst thing that could have transpired here. Okay.
So many ones.
Well, at least I rolled 2 attacks.
Hold on.
So we got that going for us.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like we need.
Listener, please, listener. I want a listener failure for this one. They haven't done those in a long time.
All right, I was going for the deck here.
No, get that deck out of my face. Our listeners deserve this.
How about a kit throw first? Well, let's do a kit throw first.
A what?
Folks, they certainly went all in, but they should have cleared their cachet first. It's no good with a natural 1 on the dice. Critical fail. The nail on the coffin. Kaboom!
We haven't had it in a while.
Yeah, that's we're about due for one.
Oh, so lucky, Jabert. This would affect most anyone else pretty badly. This one is submitted by Dave, and it's called Butterfingers. The weapon flies from your grasp and may hit an ally, but as soon as your magical sword leaves your grip, it just dissolves.
Yeah.
So you will have to reform that weapon.
Well, wouldn't that mean that his moat just goes?
He doesn't have a moat. He's not a Solarian.
Oh no, I do have a moat.
You do?
Yeah.
He took. Yeah, he has a Solarian weapon.
Oh yeah,
it
works.
It's part of the solar man. So technically what I get is the solar manifestation, and part of the solar manifestation is a moat, and so, but I sort of describe it as being sort of in the hilt of my sword. But
right,
indeed, yeah, that just sort of the moat just sort of returns to me. So, and I guess I'll I'll use a move action to reform my sword.
You committed to a full attack, so yeah, I guess stopping you here, we will allow you to take that back.
Okie dokie. Thank you. All right. Well,
Unless you
that's
want
my
to
turn. 2 natural ones, guys. That's my turn.
Unless you just want to punch it, you can with the second attack.
Nah, I'm good.
Wow, man. Punch this thing to death. Okay. Tress is done. Devasho is next. It's been a 1 and 2-filled combat thus far.
Speaking of punching things to death, Devasho just going to stroll in here with his shield and try to punch this thing to death, and he's going to get flanking thanks to Trest. Oh, I think I did considerably better than Trest. I think I've done considerably better. One could say the opposite of the dice better.
And
before
Tyler, we might have a sound file for that.
Before you rolled, I almost said, we're due for a crit, with all the 1s and 2s we've had.
But you're never allowed to say that.
I know, because it would have jinxed it, and it wouldn't have happened, so you're welcome, Tyler.
Folks, that is a natural 20! That is a critical hit!
And
which is a 34. I'm sure that's. But let's see what a card says.
Yes, of course it hits. You know they're KAC.
We do.
This will be a kinetic, correct?
Correct.
Oh, this is called Bullet with Your Name on It. The target is shaken for 1 round.
Hey.
Well, it's a fear effect. They're immune.
Oh.
You just get your extra damage, boy. What you got?
I'll take my extra damage. That's going to be 38 points of damage. I rolled a 1, unfortunately, on the regular damage, but better on the second, so.
Oh, hanging on by thread. Oh my goodness. How is this thing still alive? Am I doing math correctly? No, I can't be. I need calculators for small amounts of math in my TTRPGs. 35 and no, how much in total?
38.
Oh no, it's dead. That's all it takes.
Hey,
and because its regeneration was shut off, it's very dead. Oh, all it takes is all 5 of you focusing fire and rolling crits, and bingo bango. Turn 2, death. There is still one of these things left. Okay. And he's gonna keep his cover back here and is just going to fire this ear-splitting shriek at Trest and Devasho. So you to both make me another reflex save.
Haha, idiot! I'm already deaf.
Yeah.
I think I failed the reflex save. 16
Against is reflex is a safe.
Hooray! Also a 16.
Yep. So half damage. Make me a fort. I guess just Devasho.
Yep. Fort is 21.
All right. So not deafened. You guys are taking. Oh boy, only 5 points of sonic damage. Yuck.
All right.
Very low. And that's its entire turn. A turn 3, Echo 7.
Heavy fire.
Oh, from the corner. Firing through the desks here. What kind of weapon you got?
Azimuth artillery laser for that sweet fire damage.
I should have never told you my only weakness. All right, behind a bunch of desks here, so it's got that full cover.
Oh, this could only go well. 27 to hit.
Oh, that's a hit.
So that's going to be 11 plus 4 for 15 damage.
All right, the first damage the second revulsor has taken.
Nice.
Zinnia, you are next.
All right. Trying to decide if I want to use another inhibitor on this one or if we should just shoot at it with the sonic pistol because very few other people can get to it right now. So I think I'm just going to take a shot with my Thunderstrike pistol and hope it hits. Gosh, that trick attack.
Oh, no.
How is that right? Okay, trick does not go off. That's a -1 or lower to the CR. Well, I guess it would be a 1 or lower with my identify, but still. And then the attack is a 13 against EAC.
Oh, misses all over the place. No. Okay. Surprise Marlowe, we are back to you. No longer staggered. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna take a shot at this guy.
All right, maybe succeed where Zinnia fails. You're both pretty far away from this. Kleecha.
Oof. Nope. It's a 12.
Oh, 3 on the dice. Oh, goodness. Wow. Trest, we're back to you.
Hooray!
It's all up to the Lantern Archons. Your little guys blasting this thing need to pick up the slack.
Yeah, let's see. They're gonna sort of scoot maybe to the back of the room a little bit. And each take a shot. Pew pew.
Archons.
I always like rooting for summoned creatures to do well. It's very fun.
It rarely goes as well as you hope, but
which is why it's so exciting. It's like even when they hit and they only do 4 points of damage, you feel like they contributed.
They're bros. They're on your team. It's like, yes.
I know. Oh no,
that was not on the team.
This one is off the team.
6 on the dice. Miss.
You've been benched.
Hey,
this was on the team.
This was on
You're
the team.
Starter.
Okay.
3 points of fire damage.
I was going to give that guy a little bit of cover, but that is still a hit against EAC.
Oh, boy.
And more fire damage. Heaping on the fire damage. This guy's still looking very strong. Straddling behind a desk. He's sitting on it backwards like one of the cool kids.
All right, I'm going to climb over desks.
Oh, goodness gracious. Make me an acrobatics check.
5.
Oh, no. The first desk you climb over, you immediately fall prone at the end of the movement here in the desk.
That's exactly what I knew was going to happen. Just like, I step on the chair and immediately slip.
It scooches out from underneath you, and you're under the desk. You can see someone's carved their name. There's some gum.
You stepped on the fold-out part and just
no.
plopped on your side.
It's folded up and just I fell into it.
You did move 5 feet into the desk zone, though, so
I got that going for me.
You're going, and you can standard action to stand up, but that's or unless you have something else.
I don't know. I get a +4 to my AC if I just lay here.
Well, it's a range attacks, but yeah.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll stand up. I'm in super cover now.
Now
with
you've
super
got desks ahead of you. They're impossible to destroy. Devasho, we are on to you. Surely you have a much better acrobatics check.
Yeah, well, I mean, much better. It's better than Tress, but not by that much.
I mean, can't we push these desks out of the way? I seem to remember desks being easy to push.
Pretty movable. No,
these are college desks, so they're bolted to the floor.
They are bolted to the floor. I guess I'm gonna make the acrobatics to try and get past the desk, because I mean, I could try to throw a singing disc at them, but it's also turn 3, so I kind of want to explode.
I love it so much. The acrobatics is so high, you guys. You don't even know. Just roll that for me. Oh, roll for me. Well, I'll tell you. If you fail by 10 or more, is when you fall prone.
Okay, we're having a laugh. This is fine. We're having a laugh.
We're having a great time.
18. I rolled a 14. That's not bad.
Guess what? You do not fall prone. You don't feel this by 10 or more.
Nice. I don't succeed, though, do I?
You do not succeed. You are able to move through these desks, and you're like pushing them out of the way almost as you're trying to climb. But you are only able to move a quarter speed, minimum 5 foot. So what is a quarter of your speed?
I don't know. My speed's 35. So that's what? Like just over 5 feet?
Yeah, so 5 feet you're able to move in. But that's a failure action? Still, yeah. And your move action, correct. So if you want to continue
Can I pull out the singing disc while I'm trying to do that?
Sure.
Okay. So I guess as a standard, I'll throw a singing disc at this stupid thing.
Alrighty.
Disc.
Make that attack.
How about I roll another 20? How about I roll another 20?
Tyler.
How about
Tyler.
I dunk my skills all over your creatures, Patrick?
Tyler, this is a super cosmic crit, sir. You've rolled maximum damage.
I am unstoppable in the field of learning.
I didn't even get to make my cool school pun I was going to make.
Oh my goodness gracious. It's so much damage here.
You also have to make me a will save or be confused.
Oh no. Well, let's first see what the card says here. This is an energy attack, right? Just sonic damage?
Yeah, this is against EAC. This is sonic damage.
Okay, gross.
Listeners, you didn't know he could do this, but he can. He has the power.
So I'm going to say with this critical is called Degloved, and its normal damage, it drops a randomly held item and takes a -4 penalty to that hand. I say you just chop off one of these things' hands with the singing disc, because it has a ton of damage. Unfortunately, it is not enough damage to kill this thing outright like you did with your prior crit. But
it barely had any damage on it.
It's 30 points in total. Barely any damage. All right. Well, it's still real close to death right now.
Yeah. I just imagine Devasho throws it and it just cuts through the desk it was trying to hide behind his cover and completely takes off an arm. And then at the same time, we're going to use an action to pull it back into his hand, and you need to make a will save. Your arm's been cut off. Your creature's arm has been cut off. It's panicking.
It's their official worst save.
Oh, you got it.
17, yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And that's my whole turn. Didn't do much.
Okay, well, don't worry, because this thing is going to give you a chance at glory as it's going to charge at a Devasho.
Do I get to make an attack of opportunity?
Well, that's a good question. Singing Disc only requires a single hand, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, so this guy it has a climb ability and just climbs over the top of the desks, scrabbling at you, trying to get an attack in. Make that attack of opportunity. If you roll a crit, episode's over. I'm just going to close up shop for this week.
I honestly have never wanted anything more in my life than for this to be a 20. It's not. But a 22.
Yeah, Tyler, I'm going to tell your wife you said that.
Nothing more in my life. That is still a hit, though, and you basically crushed this thing into 2 of the desks underneath it. Squash it like a bug.
All except.
Oh, we're out of combat. Oh,
what?
Because it did take fire damage this turn, too, right? Yeah.
D or lower.
Yeah, Archon.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Oh, I'm sorry. My internet got weird. Let me ask you a question about the DC for these desks. Is it 20 or lower?
No.
It is. These desks are absolutely impassable to It is a literally an impenetrable wall. I'm like, some genius has devised a terrible curse upon this room, and nothing can cross it.
The desk is the boss fight of this entire.
Just wait until the swarm ship that we have to fight on the way off of this planet is covered in these desks.
In these desks, yeah, I know. Seriously, no, we're calling down an orbital strike specifically on this classroom when we get off this planet.
The swarm can't have this technology. Well, no, it's just in combat when you're trying to run across them. But like now that we're out of combat, you just like slowly push them out of the way. And you're like, oh no, they weren't that scary at all. Oh.
So I do see some books on some of these desks and a lecture bench. It looks like at the front. Can we investigate and see what may have been left here?
Yeah, so from what you've determined from these rooms, it looks like it has mainly been cleared out and repurposed. It seems like Swarm have been, as you like maybe roll survival and kind of take a look at the doors, they've been dragging in these corpses potentially for weeks. Some of them show advanced signs of aging. And back behind the desk where the professor would be, you see some that are kind of like half eaten and half turned into these blackened cubes. Besides that, there doesn't seem to be much of value in this room, as I said, it was probably swept clean when the swarm came in here.
Nothing of value in a 101 class. What a surprise.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. But it might be nice not to have those swarm just waiting to to attack you if you had moved past this room.
So other than old age, is there any other sign of like, I don't know, sickness or disease or other cause of death that would be of use to us?
No, it looks like some of them maybe have been kind of like crushed or you see some that maybe the only thing wrong with them is like a broken leg or mandible or something like that, and
maybe they got swatted.
Maybe if you take the time kind of like slowly walking amongst the corpses here, you might see one or two with a fine laser bolt sized hole like through their temple. See the fine marksmanship of Clade Company in here, but not many.
Okay.
Good times.
Shall we continue to sweep the building? Do we want to head south or finish up the northern part?
I mean, it seems like your plan was pretty good to start with.
Yeah. While we're here, let's finish up the north.
Let's hit them as we go, right?
So you guys are moving towards the east. Looks like.
Yeah, and again, Xenia would like to slowly and quietly crack open the door and not just kick it down like Trust likes to do.
We tried it your way last time, and I got deafened. What?
Yeah, it was your sneaking in that hurt other people.
Before we move on, do you guys want to take a 10-minute rest, or do you want to wait for the deafen condition to pass?
What?
I mean, waiting for deafen would be great. I mean, I don't really know what our timing is on these spells. They only last 6 minutes, and so, but if there's a chance we could kick or sort of jump in another room before that faded, I would just say let's push on. But
if it's 6 minutes, the maximum I think you got was 4 minutes. So I mean, you can wait until at least that's over and probably have a minute left between these two fights.
Okay, sure. You guys want to do that?
That way we have a minute left on the spells, but
maybe
get rid of deafened.
Maybe a little less than a minute. Maybe I'll roll randomly. Oh no. We'll see if it happens mid-combat. Your defrex armor goes down. Well, not that there's definitely a combat happening, but as you grasp for the door handle here to Lecture Hall 104, Xenia, maybe something.
Devasha's moving back.
Nope, right back up there, Tyler. No, as you're opening the door, make me a perception check, just Xenia, if you're opening.
Yeah, it's a 21.
Okay, that is just enough. This is not auditory. It is tactile as your hand kind of lingers, like getting ready to slowly open the door. As you do, not kick it in like some kind of monster, you feel your gloved hand start to heat up. It seems the room is significantly warmer than the balmy 80 degrees or so in the rest of the university. You can feel it hot to the touch.
Perhaps there's some sort of Macaulay Culkin in here. He's trying to get us some common sticky bandits.
Oh, you would already have set off a trap if they had the old
paint cans. Look out!
Yeah. What is it? He hangs something on the.
He blowtorches.
No. It's like a fire starter that he hangs on the doorknob.
Yeah, because he hangs it.
Both things happen.
Starter.
He hangs a hot thing on the doorknob, but he also has it where he opens the thing and the flamethrower goes on the dude's head.
On Joe Pesci's head. That's right. Yeah.
Daniel Stern is the one who gets the hot doorknob.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, not hot enough to hurt, but hot enough for you just to notice. DC 20 on that, Rebecca. So you can pause and relay that information if you'd like.
Yeah, for sure.
There is a door to the south of here. Maybe it leads to the same room. Perhaps we could try it instead.
Now, that one has got a 15 by 10 foot puddle of acid that, unfortunately, Devasha will not be able to sneak around this eastern door. Well, if you want to open that, you can, but getting inside will be a little difficult as you'll take some acid damage, same as inside the extractor imago.
Can I surmise from feeling the door handle whether this would be because of the temperature of the room or is it like a trap in the way that we're discussing?
It's not hot enough to hurt.
It reminds me a little of I don't know, when the house is on fire and they talk about how the doorknob gets hot, that's a result of the temperature of the room, not,
Mm-hmm. It's 90, 100 degrees. I mean, it's definitely warm. You can feel it through a gloved hand, but it is not hot enough to hurt.
Okay. I don't think using a different door would help in this case. And I don't think you want to go through acid, do you, Devasho?
No, but if it's all the same to you, I'm going to turn on environmental protections and stand here while you open said door. Enjoy!
Probably a good idea. Okay.
So you're standing about 15 feet away from the door? Is that what I'm seeing, Tyler?
Yes, I feel like there's a backdraft kind of thing about to happen.
Sorry, anybody who doesn't want to get lit on fire, stand back while I kick in this door.
All right, who's opening it?
Sprouts is going to hop onto Devasha's back.
Ooh, switching sides, moving away. All right, who's open?
I'll open it up.
All right, just slowly.
I'm going to back up a little bit, actually. Let him kick it in.
Okay, good. Let's go ahead and roll initiative, because as you open the door, you see a smaller but kind of similarly set up lecture hall that seems to be burnt to cinders, full of desks, but they are burnt down. The walls are blackened, and in the center of the room is what looks like a roiling fire. But as you open the door, it begins to move and take shape into the form of a large humanoid figure. It's Fire Elemental. It's one of our favorite NPC here on this here podcast that you guys have seen before. Fire Elemental. You don't know that, but that's what it looks like.
That's not a swarm.
I'm sorry, guys. They're not always swarm. Sometimes they are, but... let's go into combat as...
did we get our full 10-minute break?
No.
We didn't take
We asked and nobody said nothing.
I thought we said we were doing that.
Oh no, if only we recorded this podcast.
Definitely not, because we wanted the spells to still be active. That was the reasoning.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the reasons, but yeah.
The dumb reasoning.
Yup.
Speaking of which, because the spells are still active, I believe that my
yes, we have to figure out initiative.
Would be 23.
Oh, mine would be what, 25, 24?
No, yours would be 23 as well, but you have a lower bonus than I do, so I go ahead of you.
Aha! Let me move up.
It's only
Zinnia.
like the third time in a row that's happened.
Yeah, I'm so confused about this spell as well, but
I really am too.
Well, it's just that we get the same roll. It's just that I have a higher bonus, and so I get the 0.07 tiebreaker.
Right, you just get the same dice roll. Like, as though you both rolled the same number. Yeah.
So you're basically both going same time. And I can tell you, it's probably useful doing this on the operatives as you guys are going first. Zinnia, first in the turn order. You are back a little bit, but you can see same thing that Tress sees. Humanoid figure made of fire, just kind of hulking in this room. You get to go first. So that's what you see.
Can I identify this thing from where I am standing currently?
Yep, so this bad boy is going to be mysticism to identify.
Ooh, that is not my best skill. Oh, can I use my special kit to take 20 on this?
I believe so, in which case you can use life science for other things, right?
Yeah, it makes it, the custom microlab makes it so that you can use life science for living things and physical science for unliving things and take 20 to identify it. So that means I have a plus 15 to that with life science, because I assume this would be living.
Or would it be physical science?
I don't know if this would count as...
It is an elemental creature, and I don't think those count as living. I'll double check.
Living or unliving?
Is it nobler to identify a fire elemental or shoot it with a sonic pistol?
Yeah, because my physical science is not so great, but...
I bet, is it like, it's just your intelligence? Is it like plus 2 or 3 or 4?
Well, plus 6, but yeah. It's just intelligence. I have no ranks in that, so I'm not trained in physical science.
What is your intelligence?
18. Wait, that's not right. What?
Yeah,
no, because of Operative's Edge.
Oh, right.
Is that right? Yeah.
So 4 from it, 2 from that.
Beings of living wind, air elementals originate from the element of the plane of air. I mean,
I think they have to have the unliving quality as like a
to be not living
to count as not living. I do want to spend some time on this because I guess it will affect a good deal of this.
I think like non-living is like usually like undead and stuff. Yeah, like unliving things will actually have unliving as an other ability.
But to say it, I'm pretty sure it goes underneath like. This one is elemental and extraplanar. I think it would show it there. I'm just going to try and find another couple of examples to back up.
I can find unliving creature rules, but I don't know if elementals count as them. An unliving creature doesn't heal damage. Okay, it doesn't heal damage naturally, but a construct can be repaired. Yeah. A construct, for instance, would be unliving.
Unliving is a trait, and it is not in. So I'm going to say living.
Okay.
Because made, none of the things I would kind of point to be unliving, including like no con.
For what it's worth, I'm looking at elemental grafts, and like air says beings of living wind, for instance. I think that means it's a living creature, right?
Yeah, it's weird to think fire is living, but I mean, it is for the purposes of you killing it, whereas like a construct isn't killed, it's destroyed. Right. Undead is destroyed, if that is...
That makes sense.
There's not that much that's unliving then. Mainly, who said undead?
Everybody in eons plus constructs.
I mean, I interpret this biohacker ability as if I were just trying to identify, a cube, then I could use physical science to do that.
The unliving is specifically things that have 0 constitution, no constitution or modifier. Okay. So I think it's mainly just those 2 constructs, and I guess there's probably some other weird alien creatures out there that count as unliving, but...
for sure. Well, that's good for Zinnia, because she's very good at life science,
So do you want to use your move action to identify this thing, try and get around what it could be?
Yes, I'm going to try to, I'm going to just stand where I am out in the hallway, look through the doorway, and try to identify this very strange, fiery creature. What could it be?
It's a fire elephant.
I don't have to roll, actually, because I get a 20 on that, so that would be a 35 to identify.
So with this thing, CR, that is only going to be 3 things about the fire elemental, which it is. What would you like to know?
What are its defensive abilities? Can you just ask for that whole category, or do I need to ask for something specific?
Well, I can get. It has a couple. So if you want to use up 2 of these, I can tell you both of its specials. It's got, well, I should say there are immunities, weaknesses, and other things here. So it's up to you. Yeah, I think the most relevant is, I don't know if you've fought one this large before. Oh, I'm going to give you this one as the first one. That's I think it's pretty prescient. It has DR5, so it is one of the tougher ones for physical attacks.
DR5.
Now, do you want to know about immunities, weaknesses? Do you want to move on to something else?
I mean, we know it's immune to fire.
Yeah, I know it's immune to fire.
It's probably weak to cryo. I think
that's what I'm thinking. So yeah. Let's go with special attacks. Does it have any special attacks?
So for this one, not really. Its main attack that you can see from here is it just seems to be a big bruiser, as I've represented here with the token on the map.
Right.
You get close to this thing, it is going to slam you, as it looks like it is kind of destroyed this lecture hall.
Is there a way to know its range? Like its...
Yes, that will be one of the things I can tell you, though.
That's fine.
It is a 15-foot wide, maybe almost 20-foot tall creature, and it has an equal range, 15 foot.
15 feet of reach. That's bad. Okay.
Oh, it's a big one.
Okay. Can I see it such that I can shoot it with a pistol from where I am?
Ooh, boy. Great question. I think so. I think it'll just give it a little bit of cover, shooting through the door here.
Okay. I am going to use my Needler pistol against this to reduce its DR by 5.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Take it away.
Huge. That's huge.
Let's see if it happens.
Oh, I hope you hit.
Come on. Oh, that's 27.
Oh my, that is a hit.
Yes, so that does 6 damage plus reduces its DR by 5. So it has no DR.
How long does that last?
I would say it doesn't reduce its DR to this damage, but future damage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So this lasts for, oh gosh.
I think it's like a number of rounds plus your intelligence modifier, if I'm remembering the biohacker's ability correct.
Oh my gosh, I know I wrote this down. I don't know. I will find out.
3 plus your intellect, I'm pretty sure is what you're using, right? Your key.
Yeah, 3 plus int. Yeah.
Yep. So
7 rounds.
What's your int at this point?
4, so that'd be 7.
Okay. All right. So potentially the entire combat. We'll see. Maybe the inhibitor will go down the same time as your defrex hardiness time. All right. That is Zinnia's turn. Sprouts! Marlo, she's always getting the best of you. What would you like to do?
So I can also see it, correct?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to target it, and...
You're pretty far away. What's your range? Your pistol?
Well, that's why I'm going to move. But if I target it, I can move, and my triple's still off. So if I can see it, I'm going to pop out over here. And so it has no resistance to fire.
No, it is definitely immune to fire.
Okay, okay.
No. It doesn't have DR, so like if Devasho punches it, I'm not going to lose 5 damage from that. But it is 100% immune to fire.
Okay, I misunderstood. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my standard action to switch out my red plasma pistol for my arc pistol.
Okay.
And then move on up to my old ride on.
Oh, that's probably a smarter move, as it goes next in the initiative turn order. If you had moved inside the room, it would have just wailed on you.
No, I would have been fine.
It moves with a quickness, like the desks aren't even there, through kind of up the side of this charred lecture hall. Right out the door, and we'll try and make an attack against the chest. At the door. Oh, 11 on the dice. That's gonna be a hit. And a bunch of bludgeoning and fire damage as he just batters the door down. All right, I've rolled 8 on 2d6. It's 20 points in total, 10 bludgeoning, 10 fire.
Holy hell.
Oh no!
Yikes. That is its turn, though. Devasha, we're on to you. Hey, there's a 10-foot space right in front of this thing, buddy. They left it open for you.
Yeah. So here's the end for. Oh man. So either way, I'm taking an attack of opportunity if I try to move in the room to where I can punch this thing.
How terrible would that be to get an attack of opportunity against you, like my swarm revulsor?
That would be pretty bad, and I'm pretty sure that's when the 20 would come out. We're gonna play this. Some would say cowardly. I'm gonna say intelligently.
Boo.
I'm gonna move. Devasha's gonna move past Zinnia, behind Trest, Echo 7, and Sprouts. He still has that singing disc in his hand and is outside of the reach of this fire elemental. And I'm just gonna throw a disc at this thing from the other side of the hallway.
Boo earns. I want every Cosmic Crit fan out here to send all your episode 149 hate to Tyler.
Oh, come on!
Cosmic Crit Discord. Lame.
You can't punch Trest in the face for 20 points of damage and expect me to saunter in like a...
Zinnia just took out its DR, and you're thrown against EAC now.
Well, that would be great if I got to move before you. I would have moved into the room. I didn't get to move before you.
So it's your fault.
Yeah. It is. I have a terrible initiative. Just 23. Does a 23 hit your EAC?
Just barely.
Just barely?
Oh, that's
you're firing past some friends. It's in cover.
Oh, that's true. Okay, but that still maybe means it's a 21 EAC. That's not great. Max damage, though. I've only rolled max damage on this singing disc today. 15 points of sonic damage.
Oh, yeah. Now, what is... Well, I should ask, what is the range with the singing disc? Because actually...
Oh, that's a good point.
You're at 25 foot here.
No, I think it's a 20-foot thrown range.
Oh, well, guess what? Don't worry about that attack thing, because that's a miss.
Oh, no, I'll double.
You should have moved into combat.
No.
Or just moved up one space.
Or done that. Echo 7, we're on to you. Giant fire elemental threatening your friends.
Is this door 2 squares large as far as the opening?
It is. It's 10 foot wide, and your good buddy Trest, I believe we said, did kick it open. So...
Okay, so we're going to jump to the other side of this door so that we can take a shot.
It will take an attack of opportunity against a Echo 7 as he moves. Slapping him right at the door. Natural 20 on that, it dies.
I called it! I actually called it! I said that's when he would do it! I'm a genius! Tactical genius!
Well, maybe it probably would have been best for the tank to take that 20.
No, it's not with that much damage, tank or not. That sucks!
I am taking a critical hit card, as this thing is higher CR than you guys. Let's go. Official critical hit tech. All right. And, actually, you guys pick energy or kinetic, as this attack will do both. Which would you like it to be? I guess Drew.
I don't care.
Never pick energy.
Okay. I'm going energy.
I was going to say never pick kinetic. That's how you lose a hand.
This energy one is called Splayed Energies. Make an additional attack without expending additional ammunition, as if the attack had the blast weapon special property. I don't think this really has an effect here, as
you would attack as though you had blast, so you blast in a cone, so you hit in a cone, right?
Well, yeah, but
this is like a melee attack.
It's a melee, not a ranged attack.
I'm gonna pick another one. Well, actually, we'll just call this double damage. I want to get to the good stuff of rolling damage against Drew. Oh boy, 4d6 coming at you right now, Drew. Plus a whole heap and helpful. What? 38 points of damage. Didn't quite double the attack on Trest's. 38. Half of that bludgeoning, half of that fire.
Like that now makes a difference.
It is still your turn. What you got? What weapon are you using?
I'm gonna shoot this thing with a level 1 hail cannon. Oh boy. Oh.
All right.
I'm gonna walk back to Nerdlinger and see what he's doing to figure out the gear that he found.
At that exact moment, he calls over comms. Is like, I just found one of those Galuon fire extinguishers. I could easily make this into a cryo grenade right now. Where are you guys?
Oh man.
Make that attack, Drew.
28 to hit.
Bingo, bango. That's a hit.
8 points of damage.
Okay.
4 cryo, 4 pierce.
And doing a little bit more cryo damage, I can tell you, it doesn't like that one bit.
Well done.
And no DR on that. Thanks to Zinnia, it's all going through. Okay, Trest, we're on to you, buddy. This thing has expended its attack of opportunity on your friend Echo 7, taking that crit for you. What would you like to do?
I sincerely appreciate that. I'm gonna call in some even more reinforcements.
No! Thought you weren't gonna use all your spells.
Shadow creatures.
Shadow creatures.
Shadow creatures.
Yeah, shadow creatures.
They do cold damage. Let's go.
Yeah. So they're like up in this guy's squares. Technically tiny.
Okay, so you have some of them like on top of him.
Yeah. So they're.
Oh goodness.
So you see little like sunspots like sort of floating around on this guy, little shadows on top of this guy.
Okay, just I think you got to roll a 20 here.
I mean, it's against EAC. So that's helpful.
That's not that bad.
And the attack mod is 6, so it's like it's not terrible. It's not.
Yeah, that's a lot better. All right, make 3 attacks then, or however many you want to do. I would recommend not double attacking.
No, I'm just gonna make regular attacks here. Here we go.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's see. Hang on a second. Submit.
Bingo.
Nothing.
First one's a big 4 on the dice. That's a miss.
Ooh, a 19 versus EAC.
That's a hit.
Yeah! For 6 points of cold damage.
Oh, I think you mean 9 points. What?
9 points. One more. Can I get one more?
2 in a row.
Yeah! Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh my.
So 13 plus 6, so 19?
Yep, sounds right to me.
All right, yeah, and then I'm gonna use my standard action to draw that blade as I step in.
Part of that move action, you are in this thing's grill now with your shadow creatures. Who needs the rest of your team? Team Tress is taking care of business.
Yes.
Zinnia, we are back to you, top of the turn order.
All right, Zinnia is going to. I do have my fire extinguisher, but I'm guessing it's not going to do any good here, so I'm going to use my sonic pistol.
How rad would that be if you could just put out a fire elemental?
Right?
Instant death.
That's why I got my fire extinguisher, and it has been completely useless to me. All right, I'm going to use my Thunderstrike pistol against this thing. All right, so that's a CR 12 or lower on the trick.
That's a success.
And a 22 on the attack against EAC.
Success.
Awesome. So that does a total of, what's 5 plus 7?
Oftentimes 12.
12? 12. That's right. 12 damage.
Oakley dokley. Let's double check how we're doing here. Yeah, you blast into this guy. Ooh, he's still fighting strong. Not yet bloodied after a full round of attacks from you folks.
It is flat-footed now, though.
That's going to help. That is going to help everyone else. And as we go on to our next operative, Sprouts Marlowe. Got the right weapon out now.
Yeah, so he's going to take aim and take a shot. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Another natural 1. This is what happens when you do 2 combats in an episode. Dice go haywire.
You hate to see that, folks.
This has been pretty up and down.
Natural 1 on the trick, natural 1 on the attack.
Oh. Well, 1 on your trick damage dice on one of them.
Yeah, who cares about the other thing?
Well, the trick actually goes off, but critical fail. Do you want the official deck, or are fan submitted.
I'll go official.
Official energy weapon. Now it's personal. You are affected for 3 rounds as if the target had successfully used the antagonized feat against you. So I believe that's is.
What does that mean?
A -2, some potentially attack rolls. Let me double check. This is a general feat, antagonize. Indeed, if for 3 rounds you are off target and take a -2 penalties to checks against this one. So off target against this guy. Okay. For 3 rounds. Oh, goodness gracious. This intimidating elemental is now in front of you all, and I think people who did the most damage were these little cold guys, so he's just going to obliterate them. What is their armor class?
Their KSE is 13.
Oh no! So I just can't roll a 1 here. It's gonna make a couple of actually.
Come on, give me 2 ones. Give me 2.
No ones.
2 ones.
Oh,
yes! 1 survives.
Believe it or not, that's not a critical fail for this guy. But it is a fail to hit. But one of them is just obliterated outright. But still taking up this thing's time. Devasha, we are on to you.
This is the greatest combat I've ever been a part of.
You're out in the hole.
I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
Devasho's gonna just move up just to where he's in 20-foot range.
Okay.
Yep.
Try that singing disc again.
And we're gonna throw that disc. This thing's flat-footed, so it should be a little bit easier this time around.
A little.
Let's see what the dice say. Dice say 25.
That's a hit.
Dice. A 1 on the damage though. 12 points of sonic damage.
That is enough to bloody this thing.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll take
the
it.
flames.
Swift action. Recall the disc back.
Alrighty, and that's going to bring us on to Echo 7.
Heavy fire, hail cannon, Sub-Zero. We're gonna do this.
Can you take a? Okay. Because that might provoke.
It's flat-footed though.
No, it's flat-footed.
Yep.
Oh, it's flat-footed, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
And once you guys start hitting with operatives, I'm just like, I'm going to check out on on your turns. I'm not going to get out. All right, so what do you roll
24
here?
to hit.
Oh, yeah, that's a hit. Oh, boy.
For 12 points of damage.
12 points, half bludgeoning, half cold. So another 3 points of cold damage on top of that. Oof. Ooh, it's hurting real bad now. And bottom of the turn order, Trest, you've got your 2 allies still here with you in the room. That's it. Just these 2 little summoned creatures sapping. I guess they're just kind of like attached to this thing, like sacrificing themselves.
Just like siphoning off some of that heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. First one, it's going to make 1 attack.
Oh my goodness.
22 versus the AC.
Hey, that's a hit.
4 cold, so 6. I think.
Yes, indeed.
The second one is going to sap away a little bit of that heat for 20 versus the AC.
Oh, that's a hit.
Ooh, for 8 points of damage, so that'll be 12.
My. All right, it's still up. This thing is faltering, though, from this. These little summons have been the best use of the spell so far.
I'm going to make just 1 attack, I think. So I'm just going to stick with 1. Okay. And we're just going to... Just a regular old darn attack. Actually, you know what? Let me take a look at my level 1 spells here.
Ooh, how many you got left?
Oh, I got a few left. I'm going to use one of my level 1s here. Okay, yeah, we're going to go weapons of war here.
Ooh, he wants to finish it. Trest wanting to put him down.
21 versus KAC. Flat-footed.
That is a hit.
16. Whoosh-ah!
You slice the thing in half with your mystical magical sword. Like in its weak side where it's taking all this cold damage, and it fizzles out, kind of like explodes in a fiery corona as it dies. But you're just left looking at the explosion behind you, or not if you're a cool guy. But this thing kind of like in a whirlwind of fire and smoke kind of like condenses in on itself to where you are left with a single embery shard left on the lecture hall ground here in front of your two little summons who can scoop it up and bring it to you, Trest.
I give them each a little kiss, and I name one of them Mr. Gaddy and the other one Papagino. And then I thank them.
Fade away. They fade away into another realm as you're left with a magical crystal in your possession.
What kind of crystal is this?
Taking a look at it, this is a least photon crystal with a soulfire attached to it.
Oh, with a soulfire attached to it.
And it sings out to you as you perhaps slot it into your moat. To be continued.
Oh,
you earned that one. That was
Don't you have -1 to charisma though? Is that
I have to take the soulfire off of
you
it.
should probably take it off. That is legit.
I'm like, ugh.
That wasn't me, GM being nice. That is in the AP.
That's so wild.
Kind of what this guy was guarding.
Weren't you just saying last episode, like, oh, I'm not going to buy a crystal yet?
Yeah, I got a little expensive. I got to save up.
I felt bad that you bought armor and then there's a whole bunch here, but then I was like, hey, there's a crystal. Way to go.
I mean, it's a level 5 crystal plus 1d3.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Nothing to shake a stick at. Guys, that's going to do it for us. A big, long, combat-y episode this week.
Oh, yeah.
It's a meaty one.
A lot of a lot of critical hits and fails. I failed. Yeah. We failed to call out our fans for these crit hits. We're going to have to start next week's episode with that. But if you have recently joined our Patreon at the $10 level or above, you need to get those critical shout outs into us. We've run out, and it's time. It's time for more. Guys, thanks for playing with me.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick.
It was a weird, wacky episode this week. Listeners, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Cosmic Crit. This episode has been made possible through a sponsorship with Roll20 and the backing of our Critamanda fans on Patreon. Thanks again and have a great week.